Hey everybody, it's time for another real life superhero review. And this time, this is another sports combat rock and roll real life superhero costume. Not review, but intro. Intro, not review, but intro. This is time for another real life superhero intro. And this is another sports combat rock and roll intro. This is the same costume, only with two different themes. Actually, one of them is the same, the other is different, though. And yeah, the costume's the same, everything's the same, except I won't be wearing the jacket. But other than that, everything else will be the same. However, sometimes my footwear will be different too. There will be 2 to 3 versions. I'm thinking about doing a nighttime version too, because when I actually get to the reviews, it'll probably be at nighttime. And I kind of, while they don't always have to, I kind of like both parts. I kind of like both parts to match. So yeah. So yeah. With that being said, let me get started right now.
You're hopeless, I'm trash and efficient. Listen, you want to crash on tradition? On one condition, forget the best in the century. Talk about the best of all time, you better mention me. Essentially, I'm the best that's ever gonna be. I hold my ground, you never take it from under me. Don't run to me, it's gonna be trouble. I hit you so many times, you see triple and double instead of one of me. I got more heart, more ways to tear you apart. I lay you down early on, or maybe in the later round. It's no different to me. If you tap out, cash out, you pass out for free. Cause you face down, really, barely alive, cause I'm an animal inside, hear me? This is my calling, I've got to answer. This ain't a line that I can transfer. I want it more now, more than ever. This is my moment, it's now or it's never. This is more than a dream.
Hey everybody, it's time for another real life superhero rant, and this time this is my part 2 standing webcam, on camera webcam real life superhero rant on Afro American fat ass obese women. Yeah, because of some of the vulgar I'm going to be talking about, this video and plenty of other videos you've probably already noticed on my channel, yeah, the comments will be disabled because I don't want to get flagged or anything. So, with that being said, let me get started right now. Yes. First of all, before I get started, obesity is a worldwide and especially American problem. So many men and especially women have died from heart-related diseases and heart attacks. But the one race that gets on my nerves the most, is the one race and gender that gets on my nerves the most, is not only Afro American obese people, but especially females. Especially females who are the worst type of fat person. The difference between other races and other fat people is that those races understand and know their place in the world. Some do, but most don't. Most do not walk around. This is something Afro-American females do. They do not walk around like there's some prize. They do not walk around like they're some queen. They do not walk around like they're top dog. Like they're the man. They're the it factor. They're the it factor in when you watch movies like Mean Girls. You see in those movies the bully, the mean girl and her clique. They're usually somewhat average size, attractive women. Yet back in my high school and even before in junior high school, the fakest, the most ghetto looking with fake hair, nails, eyelashes, weaves, wigs, cosmetics, makeup, etc. I've mentioned them in a bunch of videos, but then the other ones that I don't talk about. And then the other ones who are the same as those except they're fat, they're big, they're obese. They have the audacity to walk around like they're the man, and they were considered it girls at my high school and in junior high schools and at a bunch of other high schools and junior high schools, and they have the audacity to pick at people like me and other people when they be 300 plus pounds with all of those cosmetics, which makes them look even worse. They're everything terrible. They're 300 pounds. They stink. They have the worst body odor. Of any person. And I'm a guy who's participated in full contact combat sports like wrestling, which requires me to be all up in someone's area and stuff. And you got these women walking around making jokes at other people's expense. My dad's wife, who is one of the worst culprits, as a difference between her and the people in high school. The people I went to high school with have somewhat learned and understood their place in the world. My dad's wife will never learn and will never understand. And what I'm talking about and ranting about, no one was calling it out until Tommy Sotomayor, Jesse Lee Peterson, and the late great Kevin Samuels. No one was discussing. They walk around like they're prizes. They approach attractive men. They approach average size attractive men and expect average size attractive men to like and be attracted to that, and then they get mad. They shame them. They call them fat phobic. When a man does not want or desire that, yet an obese man has to either live and accept the fact that he's fat and make the best of it, or train and lose the weight, which moves to another. Then some of these have the audacity to tell you that the obese you see, they are not fat. They are big boned. And thick, and that they have a condition. Yes, like Tommy Sotomayor said in one video, lazy condition. Then others who were at one point thick, average. I have enemies now in former high school people who were at one point thick and big boned. Later is big and is fat, and big and as fat as you know what. Yet they have the audacity to look down upon people like me, who growing up wanted to be wanted to be a fighter, athlete, and multiple other things. So yeah, I kept training. I kept training and stuff. I kept training. I also went through a brief depression period where I wasn't eating a lot and ended up losing a lot, ending up losing a lot of weight. So yeah. But these women who some of them I looked up to and idolized in high school, who were athletes, big as you know what now. Then they make it worse by putting wigs, weave, and wigs, weaves, makeup, and cosmetics. When, in my opinion, especially, okay, first I hate all that on any woman, but I especially hate it on obese women. That race has no choice but to be natural. And I can't believe some jobs, if you have to look like that for your job, okay, but I can't believe some jobs want women to come in looking like that, looking like that. But I already mentioned them in the wigs and weaves department. I was just mentioning how it's even worse on big fat obese women, and I'm sick of obese women not knowing their place in the world. My dad's wife, the biggest example. She has been fired 5 times from jobs. 5 times from jobs, and that wouldn't be a problem. I normally wouldn't mock or something like that. But like I said in my rant and celebration of my dad's wife's 5th job termination, this woman, along with my dad, tried to control, sabotage, and destroy my future, and basically my livelihood. So, and she did a bunch of other terrible things that she showed no accountability for. So, therefore, no sympathy when she got fired. And then, not only did she do the first thing, the sabotaging my goals, dreams, and controlling my goals, dreams, and future, and sabotaging them, but even worse, she decided, even before I met with many of my future employers, bosses, and the owners of these companies I want to work for and with, she had the audacity to decide I didn't meet their expectations and I wasn't good enough to work for or work at those places before they told me, the people who actually own these places and are going to give and are in charge of giving me these jobs, decided I am not good enough. I am not good enough to work there. So therefore, I am not sympathetic at all when she got fired. And once again, I said, if you got fired, especially 5 times, I've been counting since 2020, you do not meet anyone's expectations. That means you didn't meet expectations, and my dad's wife meets no one's expectations. My dad's wife is everything terrible about obese women, about obese Afro American women, except for one thing. She proved Tommy Sotomayor, the late Kevin Samuels, and just an internet YouTube personality, Jesse Lee Peterson, right. She is everything bad except for one, and that's the criminal element. But she is everything else. She is everything else terrible, and people like her meet no one's expectations because nobody wants to deal with. Not only was she a fat, obese woman, but what's worse than a fat, obese woman? An Afro American one. What's worse than an Afro American one? A middle-aged, 53, now 54, about to be 55 later on this year, woman, a middle-aged one. So that means when they look at them, this is true, they look at them, they don't want to hire them because they look at them as lazy. The only thing they will be good for is basically working security. Working security. They look at them and think of them as lazy. Number two, especially with the Afro Americans, the other races don't have this problem because the other races know their place. They know when they get to that job, they shut the hell up and work. But the people like Lisa, they talk, they gossip, and then they got attitude. Then they got attitudes, and nobody wants to deal with that. Then the last one, hygiene. They like to act like they're the cleanest person in the world. They like to, I hate hygienics. I understand, yeah, everyone wants to be clean and no one wants to be around a stinky body odor, but they act like they've never smelled a BO before, and they over exaggerate how bad a BO is. Then they act like they don't stink. They're the kings, they're the queens of that popular phrase, my shit, my stuff and my shit don't stink phrase when they be some of the stinkiest people you see. Like I said, obese people, especially females. As a guy who's participated in wrestling, they have the worst body odors of all time. They be smelling like fat. They be smelling like fat, sweat, must, sulfur, and the worst one of all time, ass. But is that what a female is supposed to smell like? Then for some of them, toss in some raw fish while you're at it. Toss in some raw fish and stinkweed while you're at it. So yeah, is that what a female is supposed to smell like? Then also, for the ones who get wigs and weaves and get their hair done, stinky hair perm, stinky burnt hair perm. So yeah, is that what a female is supposed to smell like? So yeah. So yeah, these are issues I have with what's his name. And like I said, up until Tommy Sotomayor and those other two people appeared, there was no one putting them in their place. My dad and his original wife and my mom raised me on that BS Christian nonsense. I'm still religious, but I am no longer affiliated with the Christian religion. Raised me on that BS Christian religion. Therefore, and unlike other Christians whom I hate, I actually tried to follow that. I actually tried to follow the steps to that. I actually tried to follow that religion. I actually tried to be an actual good Christian before abandoning that altogether. And by being that is, when the people bullied and dissed me, I couldn't make myself ruthless enough and savage enough to diss them back. This is one of the only times I hate who I used to be as a kid. This is one of the only times I wish I was who I was as a kid, because before being baptized and becoming a full-fledged Christian, I was savage, and I've since moving to a new religion, I have since returned to my savage ways. I'm in the process of going on Facebook and other forms of social media and looking up everyone I got into it with in high school, and everyone who ever wronged me in high school, and now there's no tolerance policy here. There's no tolerance policy, here, and I get to verbally destroy, verbally eviscerate, and verbally abuse those women and put them in their place, man. Yeah, which is the next one. Then they'll try to ruin your reputation by exposing you as gay, because you don't find them attractive. You don't find them attractive. If they were the only thing in the world, maybe they were the only thing wrong. Maybe being gay isn't a bad idea, but I still wouldn't do that. You do the other one, the MG towel, the men going their own way. Yeah, you really would do that. The MG towel, men going their own way. If those were the only kind. Yeah, man. Then the last one. Oh, this is the biggest one. I was talking about this in one of my previous videos, and that was Rant on self-entitled shoplifters, bullies and criminals. In that video, and here's another thing I can't stand about obese Afro American women and obese women in general, but especially Afro American women. See, they're big. So they're even bigger bullies. So they have it in their mindset that they can fuck you up. They can beat you down. They can beat you down. So they'll try to bully. They'll try to intimidate you. What you call it? The average size and skinny women, since they have beauty and stuff, they'll verbally bully you, but they won't
try to like physically. They won't try to physically bully because they don't want to damage those cosmetics and weaves and stuff, unless that person is still, despite all that, is still a scrapper. So these right here, they have the attitude they can F you up. Then keep in mind they're female, so society is on their side. So when they encounter someone like me who is aggressive enough, who is psychotic, who is psychotic enough to, and violent enough to strike you and strike you back, I'm in the wrong. You're in the wrong. Even though that girl was perfectly fine with attacking you, was perfectly fine attacking you, they didn't want to play victim and stuff, and you're demonized, and then you got to hit them harder to remind them of their place in the world. So yeah, this is what I'm getting sick of. I'm getting sick of obese. Getting sick of obese women. Can't stand the sight. Can't stand the sight of them. Can't stand the smell of them. Can't stand obese Afro American women. Can't stand the sight of them. Can't stand the smell, the stench of them. And what's worse is the arrogant attitude, obnoxious attitude. In high school, there was a Afro American obese woman. She wasn't disgustingly fat, but she was big, and she was quiet and to herself. And I was in 11th grade at the time, but I was in a class with I was in an algebra class with ninth graders, and the ninth graders were bullying her. I badly wanted to interfere and stop the bullying, but I had got in trouble for something. The semester prior, so I could stand by and just watch this girl. I couldn't do nothing but stand by and watch this girl be bullied. But this girl right here, unlike other obese Afro-Americans, this girl knew her place. She was quiet and to herself. You got those other ones who be talking trash, just like, hey girl, like they're cute, walking around like they're cute, like they're hot stuff. When I'm like, dude, there's a corner. I also chose to be quiet and to myself and go stand in this corner because I didn't see myself as good as the other people in my grade and in high school. And didn't say anything to these people unless spoken to, or I had some prior friendship or knowledge about the person. Yet you got these girls, these Afro-American obese women, they deserve to be in that corner, to go in that corner, turn around, or sit down, whatever, and never speak again unless spoken to. Oh man, and they're annoying. And I just want to go over there and just slap and hit them. Not gonna do any of that unless one puts their hands on me first. But that's the anger. They drive me to. Can't stand their smug, arrogant. Smiles, attitude with the terrible stench and body weight to go with it. And they're bullying, tyrannical attitudes. Can't stand it, and I'm getting sick of it. And getting sick of people not speaking on that. The other race, like I said, this is mostly about Afro-Americans, because the other races, they know their place. Afro-Americans, these Afro-American queens, these females, do not. So, yeah, this was the on-camera webcam real-life superhero version. Once again, to see the part 1 version, it will be uploaded before this one. To see the part 1 version, the link will be in the description box. The part 1 narration, it will be in the description box below. You want to hear the rest of the music and see the rest of my mannerisms? Cut the video off right now. And one final thing, keep forgetting to add, if anyone has a problem with what I just said, as always, feel free to come and do something about it, because I am the one you call when you need your ass kicked. Call Douglas Blair Roberts, the brown-skinned human, the bully, the vigilante, the real-life superhero, the action hero, and I will correct what your parents and your forefathers didn't do, and I will kick your ass and rearrange your jaw. You don't want to hear the rest of the music? Turn the video off right now.
This is